Good morning to you. Hope you're staying warm this morning. I'm Julie Jamison. Glad you could join us today.
It is Wednesday, November 23rd, and I'm Dave Woodman. You're watching News 4 at Sunrise, and we're glad to have you with us this morning on a very, very icy morning. Meteorologist John Champion is in from something very careful.
We'll have advice for you a little bit later. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Our top story today is, of course, our winter weather and how it affects you. Our team coverage of the icy conditions begins with Alice Stewart, who is standing by in North Little Rock at the 30-40 split. Alice, from where you're standing, highly traveled roadway, how's it looking this morning?
Well, it is not looking very good, Julie. Arkansas State Police say they have been, or Arkansas State, Julie.
All right, that is good advice. Alice, you be careful and stay warm. We'll talk to you a little bit later in our broadcast, and that is Alice Stewart reporting live from North Little Rock. Now, if you must drive on the icy roadways, here are some tips that you may want to use to help negotiate winter roads. AAA suggests you take along tire chains, a small bag of abrasive material like sand or salt for traction, a flashlight, an ice scraper, booster cables, and of course a blanket. Police in Little Rock have identified a body found Sunday by a child playing near the Arkansas River. Authorities have identified that body as that of 41-year-old Bertha George. George's body is currently at the state crime lab. No details have been released about the cause of her death. And the State Department of Human Services needs your help to get a lost woman home to her family. This woman turned up at a North Little Rock parking lot in early November. She's a deaf mute and has not been able to tell authorities who she is or how she got there. And Joe Quinn says the woman was clean and appeared that she had not been living on the streets for too long. If you know who she is, please call the number on your screen, 1-800-482-8049. 5:42 now, time to look at our world and national news. Hezbollah guerrillas have claimed responsibility for today's rocket attack in northern Israel, which has injured at least 13 people. Israel's army says it is returning fire. The dozens of rockets that fell today caused heavy property damage, the worst from a cross-border attack in nearly 3 years. Israel and Hezbollah have been engaged in a guerrilla war in Lebanon since 1985. Well, Defense Secretary William Cohen is halting additional deployment of U.S. forces to the Persian Gulf. Cohen took the action as he arrived in the region for a 2-day pre-Christmas visit with U.S. troops. Now, despite the stand down for those forces, Cohen says he has yet to see Saddam Hussein change his behavior. He says he expects the Iraqi leader to continue to try to frustrate inspections and try to get relief from U.S. sanctions. 5:45 now, and the Razorbacks are looking forward to a promising recruiting season with 4 signees and several verbal agreements already.
And there's more good news for the coaching Nutt family. Danny Nutt is expected home for Christmas. Carlton Wing has the latest in Sunrise Sports.
All right, all our best to the Nutt family, Danny.
That's good news. Danny going to be spending some time with his parents. I know he hates not to go to the Citrus Bowl, but Danny, if you're watching this morning,
watch it on TV.
Yeah, all right.
All right, add one more guest to that holiday list, Old Man Winter. He's gonna be joining you. We're under a winter storm warning right now, John.
No,
he doesn't eat much, but
yeah, it's kind of payback time for that.
And our team coverage continues with Isaiah Carey, who is watching the weather for us from Pine Bluff. And you said those ice skating lessons would never come in handy, Isaiah. How's it looking out there now?
Exactly. The precipitation is coming down, Julie. I got a little concerned of the precipitation coming down. Stay inside if you have to, Julie.
All right, Isaiah, make sure Trey turns that heater on for you in the car.
Absolutely.
Talk to you soon. Well, winter weather is in the state, as you just saw in Pine Bluff and right here in Little Rock. We'll go live with a look at what's happening on our roadways when we come back.
A little later.
Yeah, we'll travel down to the highways and to Pine Bluff and see how weather conditions are out there. But best source, John Champion. He's in for Mike Nico this morning. Grab a hot cup of coffee and listen to this man. He knows what's happening out there.
Yep.
Good morning.
I've got a pair of gloves sitting in there. It's got Isaiah's name on it, but he's a little hard to reach right now.
I think he's worried about his hair. I don't think he's telling us the truth.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I don't want to be the one that drives the Pine.
6:44 now, and there has been a recall for a ballpark, Mr. Turkey and Sara Lee meats. The company says they may contain a deadly bacteria. That bacteria, Listeria, can cause deadly meningitis and blood infections. Check any packages of meat under those names for these codes, EST-P261 and EST-6911. You can return the meat to the store where you bought it for a refund. If you usually end up with indigestion following big holiday meals, you may want to get something to ward off heartburn and gas by using an herbal alternative. Try taking digestive enzymes before a big meal to help your stomach handle all that food. If you forget the enzymes and feel terrible later, try drinking chamomile or peppermint tea to help wash down that second piece of pie. And before we have to say goodbye this morning, let's go live to Pine Bluff one more time, where Isaiah Carey is keeping an eye on the weather and the roads. Isaiah, any changes out there?
No changes so far, Julie. Even slippery if you're walking. Watch this. It's for the public, Julie. Making sure you're safe. Reporting live from Pine Bluff, I'm Isaiah Carey.
Kind of looks like you on the dance floor. All right, Isaiah, thank you very much.
He can have fun wherever he goes.
He sure can. We love Isaiah. 6:57. Let's get some closings out of the way here. All these are closed. All right, thanks, John. And thank you for joining us this morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to say goodbye. This will be my last show. Your generosity and your kindness has been heartwarming. I hope to see you again in the near future. Take care of yourself and happy holidays.
Gonna miss you a lot. Stay tuned. We'll have the weather for you all day long.
Julie Jameson is in our Call for Help office with more. Julie?
Denise, the Hillman's children are visually impaired, and under the Americans with Disabilities Act, they qualify for special seating at all venues. But when they called for tickets to see Barney's Big Surprise, what they were told may surprise you. Rachel and Wesley were both born with bilateral congenital cataracts. Put simply, their vision is very limited. So in order to attend Barney's Big Surprise, they would need to sit close to the stage. But when the Hillmans called, they were told all tickets for disabled viewers were sold out. The only tickets available were the most expensive seats at $25 apiece.
I felt like the children were being penalized just because they were visually impaired.
That's when the Hillmans put our Call for Help volunteers to work, and we managed to get free tickets for the entire family, all thanks to Barney.
We try to help everyone the best that we can. We're very interested in all children and helping.
And Rachel and Wesley saw Barney up close and personal last night with third row seats. It's a performance they will undoubtedly never forget. Denise. Lula Lemons recently suffered a stroke, then fell and broke her leg. Now she's confined to a wheelchair. That's when the simple things became impossible, like just leaving the house.
No, I've left about 3 times since this happened in 4 months.
That's because Lula's house wasn't wheelchair friendly, so she called our Call for Help office. We called the Southwestern Bell Pioneers.
We're made up of retirees and active employees both.
Among other charitable events, this group of men and women build ramps every Wednesday. It was just a matter of setting the date before Lula would be free. So the pioneers began sawing the wood, hammering the nails, and finishing up some last-minute details. And before long, Lula was taking the runway, breathing the fresh air, and visiting with some new friends.
Thank you very much.
Julie Jameson, News 4. Denise, residents in the Boyle Park Trailer Park say their dilemma began as soon as the sun went down each night. At night, the corner of the Boyle Park Trailer Park is awfully dark, and with no security lights to illuminate the area, residents say it can be pretty scary.
And you can't see, and people cuss through here, and can't ever tell what the criminal element's going to do.
Entergy and the owner of the park told Mr. Kettleman security lights would be installed, but as Kettleman puts it, someone was dragging their feet. That's when he called our Call for Help office, and after just one phone call to Entergy, the park's long, dark nights will now be filled with brightness. Today, crews were hard at work installing poles and preparing to help residents sleep a little sounder tonight.
And they'll light up the area quite well.
Make it more secure?
Right.
Okay. In addition, Entergy installed several other lights in various areas of the park just to make sure the entire park will be secure. And of course, for Mr. Kettleman, he says that's a relief. Denise?
Certainly.